This is KGW News at 11.
Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko, and we begin tonight with a disturbing story in what appears to be a random attack on a child. We want to warn you the video you're about to see from a transit station surveillance camera Wednesday is difficult to watch. We understand the girl is doing okay, and the suspect is now facing criminal charges. Daisy Caballero walks us through how it all unfolded.
A 3-year-old near the platform's edge. The video clip runs just a few seconds. We'll unpause it here and play it in slow motion so you can see what happens next. Someone, apparently a stranger in a red cap, gets up from a bench and then shoves the child onto the MAX train tracks. It's difficult to watch. The girl's mother is left in shock on the platform. We want to let you know her daughter was quickly pulled up to safety. The district attorney's office calls the attack at the Gateway Transit Center Wednesday night unprovoked. They identified the suspect as 32-year-old Brianna Lace Workman. She's been arrested and charged with assault, attempted assault, and reckless endangerment, among other charges. And according to court documents, the child's mother, quote, reported that neither she nor the 3-year-old had any interaction with the suspect prior to the attack, end quote. And a witness observed Workman shove the young girl onto the MAX train tracks without provocation. Remarkably, it appears the girl suffered only minor injuries, a headache, and a mark on her forehead. Documents also state after shoving the child, the suspect sat back down on the bench. The DA is requesting she be held without bail.
And Daisy joins us now. Daisy, I mean, your heart just goes out to that little girl and her mom. What else do we know about the suspect here?
Well, David, a search of Oregon court records reveals a woman with the same name has a history of felony convictions. They include drug possession, assault, and unlawful use of a weapon. The most recent conviction just last year. Workman is due back in court January 9th. David? Daisy
Caballero there. Daisy, appreciate your reporting tonight. New tonight, Gresham police are searching for the shooter they say sent one person to the hospital. Investigators say they found one man shot behind a building just after 6 on North Main Avenue near 1st Street and Powell Boulevard. Now, the victim suffered serious injuries. Police describe the suspect as a white man in his 20s wearing a dark jacket, possibly driving a dark blue or black small sedan. Anyone with information is asked to contact Gresham police. Also new tonight, a fire broke out this evening at a Southwest Portland commercial building. This was just before 8 on Southwest Lancaster Road. Portland Fire said a metal-clad building was on fire when they showed up, and they had limited access to water in the area. Fire crews said they were working to make sure the flames did not spread to nearby houses and vehicles. And the nonprofit Blanchet House had to reinforce the glass on a door today after a guest shattered it with a brick. Organizers say problems like this are becoming more common in the Old Town neighborhood. Blanchet House points to factors like bad weather, homeless camp sweeps, and mental illness all playing a part. Well, 3 days on, and lots of folks are still without power from that strong winter storm. Things are getting better, though. PGE has it down to under about 2,200 customers still in the dark. Pacific Power, less than 100. At the peak, more than 200,000 homes and businesses lost power across Oregon and Southwest Washington. Power companies even had to bring in out-of-state crews. So today, our Kale Williams was in the West Hills in Washington County checking in on those who are still waiting. One woman he talked to said her son lives with disabilities and her only option was to find a hotel.
He's having a rough time staying in a hotel. He needs to be, he needs hot water, light. He doesn't understand this. He's basically so confused. He gets extremely stressed.
Well, PGE has 550 people working to restore power. They say they are now focused on the smaller outages, which often take longer. Officials caution it could be as late as Sunday before power is fully restored. Speaking of power, by the way, PGE rates are going up in the new year. Oregon's Public Utility Commission has approved that rate hike, citing higher energy costs. The increase, it's about 7%, applies to 900,000 customers across 51 Oregon cities. That means a customer who pays around $115 a month will see their bill jump to around $122 in 2023. By the way, we should mention one other quick thing related to power, the storm, all those downed trees we saw, right? Tonight, Southwest Jefferson and downtown Portland is finally back open after a tree crashed down Tuesday morning. Portland Parks and Rec were there to clean up the mess outside the Portland Art Museum. Took a while, though. A reminder, you can call 503-823-TREE if there's still one in your area that needs to be cleared. All right, with holes in the roof, burst pipes, and damaged vehicles, a lot of people have been on the phone with their insurance companies hoping the damage is covered. Evan Watson's been looking into the number of claims so far and how you can boost your chances of not having to foot that bill.
There's the immediate reaction when a tree falls onto power lines or a home.
Just as we were talking, as you were driving by, it all came down onto the street right here.
And then there's the follow-up. What do I do next?
As you can see, it's all tangled up in those lower lines there, so is it going to cause more of a problem?
Corey Knapp wrestled with that question during the storms this past week. Some homes were spared from large trees falling on them. Others, not so much. You can ask any insurance company, they'll tell you this storm caused massive damage. State Farm Public Affairs Specialist Amy Harris explains.
27 states and 31,000 overall claims that we've seen the past week. Oregon alone, we've seen over 700. That's with both auto and home claims. A lot of damage. We're seeing a lot of wind damage, a lot of water, frozen pipes that have burst, trees that are down.
And it's not always a straightforward answer to who's liable and who needs to make the call, unless you can prove some type of negligence.
Insurance is kind of funny with trees because if your neighbor's tree falls on your fence or your property, you're responsible for that, not your neighbor.
Harris says your first call should be to a home or car insurance agent. Don't jump to action just yet.
Keep receipts, document everything that you do. Also, don't pay for anything up front. Make sure you're reaching out to your agent, you find out exactly what is covered with your policy.
Then she has some recommendations when selecting a contractor. Ask around for references and check contractor licenses and certificates of insurance. Insist on detailed written estimates that show the cost, labor required, and estimated time of the work. Check any potential warranty and watch out for conditions that would void it. And of course, you can check reviews or formal complaints filed against any contractor. Lastly, Harris says the best way to be prepared for a future claim is to assess the value of what you have ahead of time.
Key things that we like to remind people to do is take a home inventory. So that's just, simply walking around your house with an iPhone, a pad of paper, just documenting what you have, the value of everything that you have, so that if it does need to be replaced or you do need to file a claim, you know exactly what it was that you had.
Evan Watson, KGW News.